Welcome back to the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman. This is the Michigan Business Beat, and we are on Mackinac Island. We're at the Grand Hotel for the Policy Conference put on annually by the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we have with us Katharine Czarnecki. And Katharine, you're with MEDC, Senior Vice President. Tell me what you do.
What do I do, right? Day to day. My team and I really help try and revitalize Michigan communities so that we can attract talent and business investment.
Yeah, so your involvement is from a community standpoint. So tell me about that. You assess communities who need help. Do they come to you for help?
So really, I think of our role as twofold, really helping them build capacity at the local level, whether it's through planning and zoning, the non-sexy parts, but then making sure that they have deals to reinvest. So mixed-use downtown projects, great restaurants, little shops, things that create that place, that vibrancy that we love.
Placemaking is a big part of it.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that. How's it going?
I think it's going great. I mean, the economy is chugging along. We have communities, we have developers making investments, we have community members and nonprofits coming together to create public spaces, and things are moving.
I think there's a good spirit, like the spirit up here for this particular policy conference in the state of Michigan, where we realize now all of a sudden we're not competitors, we're all pushing the same product, which is Michigan.
Absolutely. And I think what's really special about Michigan is that we're a maker state. And how can we continue to build those individuals who are interested in making things, whether it's making cars to making bagels. And so how can we help entrepreneurs at all levels of the spectrum to get into starting their own business?
So if you're in the middle of enhancing communities and placemaking, you are in the middle of fighting the battle that we all fight, which is a shortage of personnel.
Right. Talent is a huge problem. I mean, we've heard restaurants that have closed because they can't find employees to work in the restaurant. So when you're talking about making sure that we have those places that attract talent, that's where I feel like the community development team really helps our business development team put together the full package.
Well, how long have you been doing this, and how many people are working on this with you? Because this is a pretty big job.
Well, so I started at MEDC about 10 years ago. I started myself as a manager and 4 team members, and now I have a team of about 50 statewide. We have a lot of resources.
So are they boots on the ground? I mean, do they go out and prospect in some cases?
They do. So one of the things that we're really excited about what we're doing in Michigan is taking a matchmaking ability between developers and communities to help communities who don't have the ability to go out and market their own sites. So our redevelopment services team, really, their job is to go out, identify those matches, and help get, again, shovels in the ground. So I think Michigan's one of the only states that's proactively doing it, and we're really proud of that.
You know, it's interesting. I remember way back when we commissioned a study to find out where Michigan was on the relocation chart. So people who relocate businesses, and we weren't on the chart at the time, right? And so then we started LEAP and a few things like that around the state of Michigan to start marketing us. A lot of communities, as you say, just don't have the resource, even if they knew and wanted.
Right, and that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish with our technical assistance, is to not tell a community what they should be, but to really help them think through that process, engage with their community members, talk through what makes sense for them. I always say that some communities have this wish list. They want chasing that white elephant, right? But really understanding what their bones are in their community, what structures they have, what we can do and be practical, and again, make sure that we have the right tools in terms of incentives and capacity building to get those projects accomplished.
So not every city needs a heliport and an airport?
Yes.
There's this realistic piece to it, yeah. So boots on the ground, people go out and say, you must be involved in like MEDA and some of those organizations.
So economic development doesn't happen in a vacuum. You need to make sure that you have the public sector, the private sector, the nonprofits, the educational entities all working together to build that ecosystem. And I think that's one of the most special things about working in economic development is the partners, MEDA, our university system, private businesses, all working together towards that same goal.
So you also have a lot of interconnect with like Business Connect and the other initiatives that are coming out of MEDC.
Yeah, so one of the things that Trevor Paul and I have been talking about is how can we make sure that those small entrepreneurs, the makers, what I call the place-based entrepreneurs, how can they play a role in Pure Michigan Business Connect and making sure that we keep those dollars local, we don't ship them off to somewhere else, internationally, wherever it may be, but we keep those dollars locally in our communities.
So is there a common thread? I mean, are there certain things that all these little communities you want to go, well, do you have this? And they're like high speed, internet.
Yep. Broadband is critical. People want it, and if you don't have it, it's going to be very hard to compete, not only for talent attraction, but for business investment. So again, talking through local units of government, are they planning? Are they even thinking about infrastructure needs for the next 6 years? And it's surprising how many communities just are trying day by day. You have someone who's a fire chief and a city manager and the treasurer all in one, and so they're really pushed to the max of what they can accomplish. So that's where we try and help.
Well, you're doing a great job, and thanks for coming on and explaining it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Katharine Czarnecki, MEDC, as a matter of fact, community improvement. That's a good way to say it, I think. All right, very good. You're listening to the Michigan Business Beat. As a matter of fact, you're watching it as well on the Michigan Business Network. We're going to be right back. I'm Chris Holman. We're at the Policy Conference on Mackinac Island.